So time for us to decide the final place, awaiting the winner here in the final tomorrow. It's Safin against Agassi in our second semi-final. And the whistles all ready for both men. Both dressed in black.
Premier set, al servicio, Marat Safin. Ready, play.
And it'll be Safin to serve. Agassi won the toss.
15-0. 15.
Might get a few of those today, aces, for this big man. I think in those 2 points we saw all we want to know about what the contest is about today. It is Safin's serve and Agassi's ability to return.
It's a very difficult serve to read. Of course he can generate an awful lot of pace, but he has excellent variation, as Agassi's already found out today.
Of course, the other thing about Agassi, he's a bit under-tennised for me, because he hasn't played since the US Open, where he lost to Federer in the quarterfinals. No disgrace there, but he needed a few more matches, I think.
Safin. First game.
Be interesting to see, Jason, where Agassi decides to stand trying to return the Safin serve.
Well, he doesn't like to lose face. He likes to stand on the baseline, take the ball as early as possible. But I think it is important to try and vary your position to give Safin something different to look at. And as the match wears on, if Agassi isn't having the success he would want standing up on the baseline, I think then he would be well advised to do that.
Al servicio, Andre Agassi.
And Agassi knows that anything short, Safin will belt for all he's worth. So both men opening their service games with an ace. That doesn't often happen.
Let second service. Iguales, 15 on.
Well, I think Safin's coming to the net a little bit more this week than I've seen him previously, and I think it's a nice addition to his game. Certainly the way forward in terms of developing over the next few years. And that, for me, is going to be a shot to look out for, the backhand down the line. Both will want to trade blows cross-court, and the one that hits that shot perfectly throughout the encounter will have the best chance of getting the right result.
Just collecting a loose ball, which is just behind the umpire's chair. There's one of the shapely ladies, our ball girls. Well, it's been an interesting innovation. The ball girls being models, all of them, and they've been used for the first match of the evening session and both these semi-finals today. And they've done their jobs well. They've been well trained. And it's certainly not just a gimmick. Well, that is unfortunate. It's given a down. They'll be fully aware of the first chance to break to Safin. This had better be deep. Deep enough, fortunately.
And the intention was obvious. Try and use the line to hurt Agassi. Strange as it may seem, Agassi is in excellent shape. He doesn't move particularly well. You can force him wide, particularly to the forehand side.
Agassi.
There's young Tyriak, the man who brought this tournament to Madrid from Stuttgart. Former Romanian Davis Cup player, of course.
Lovely tactic. Doesn't take too much of a backswing, Safin, but he can generate an awful lot of pace. Gets his feet in a good position, brushing up the back of the ball. You can see the topspin on the shot.
That's where he's deadly. At his best, mind you, he was less than deadly last night. He was a bit nervous and tense, but I think perhaps today it's easier for him, because yesterday it was a Spaniard, the last of the Spaniards. It was a big Spanish crowd cheering everything, even cheering Agassi's mistakes. And he looks better today.
Well, I think he said in his press conference yesterday after that win against Robredo that if he does come up against Safin, he knows he has to open his shoulders and be aggressive from the back of the court. There's no way he's going to be able to beat the big Russian by playing tentatively. So I think he really has no decisions to make, and that's a slightly easier situation for him.
And to me, Jason, the change in this man has been wrought by Lundgren. The fact that you mentioned that he's coming in more, well, he would, wouldn't he, if he's being advised by the man who looked after Federer for so long.
And I think you're absolutely right. And the win in Beijing a few weeks ago, I think, was crucial, because it's always nice to have success when you start out together, working with each other. And I think that will have helped to cement the relationship.
Brilliant. David have lots of wrong with footwork, but the other major factor to me is his temperament and his outlook, which we know how volatile it can be, but it hasn't been this week. He's been totally focused, and I think that must be Lundgren's influence.
Left for service.
Nobody heard it except the umpire, who has a little bleep from the device attached to the top of it to tell him that the net vibrated.
That's twice Agassi's been walking to the chair. Once on the left, once on the ace.
I mean, if he ever does get his mind straight, and certainly this man has helped Agassi to do just that and focus properly, but if Safin ever does get it, I mean, he's got so many other great attributes, he could become the greatest of the lot.
And that's Agassi at his best. Taking the ball on, making the opponent run as much as possible.
40-13.
Of course, Safin, 6'4" and almost 200 pounds without the necklaces. Makes it very difficult to move around the baseline.
Well, the trouble is he thought in his mind that he'd already won this game once. Now he's still there, battling away at deuce. There'll be a sort of slightly disgruntled feel about him.
Agassi.
It's going to be a test of his temperament, this situation, because he thought he'd won the game. Now he's break point down. If he were to lose the game, we need to watch his reaction carefully.
It was a good return. A slightly tentative volley. Safin did well to get the ball lower than the height of the net. And for my money, Agassi just panicked a little bit. Of course, we know he's not that technically proficient under pressure at the net. Prefers to play much of his tennis on the baseline. Just too much wrist in that shot. Got to keep it nice and firm, especially when under pressure. The more movement there is with the racket face or contact with the ball, less chance of putting the ball where you'd like to put it.
Marat Safin. Safin.
Well, that'll help Safin to feel a little more gruntled now. That escape from potential break. He was a break point.
The machine doesn't work at all. Well, not even close.
40 love, but you see, not even
yeah,
close.
But this kind of things you
he's too
make a mistake.
I just changed the machine. I'm not calling it because I put down the sensitivity as much as I can. I have to make that call. You know that.
Well, the device that they use to measure the vibration as the ball travels over the net does have a certain degree of sensitivity in a range of 1 to 10. Before the match, the officials set it appropriately, and the umpire there just saying he's put it down to the lowest possible sensitivity, so therefore he had to make the call once he got the bleep. Earlier in the week they did have some problems with it in Marat Safin's first round encounter. There was a few serves that looked like they went well over the net that were called as a let, and so Safin did very well there to maintain his concentration and eventually hold serve, because it would have been very, very difficult to have lost serve there, having obviously held that 40 love lead.
Well, the man you're looking at is something of a volcano. He rumbles away and sometimes erupts, and we've seen some awful scenes over the years. I've seen him break about 4 rackets in the course of one match. But I think those days happily are over. He's a little older now, at 24, a little more mature, and I think he's realised that that isn't going to help him, that sort of behaviour, win matches. And it's gradually got through to him. And as I say, if he ever gets everything right, well, he'll be virtually unplayable.
The umpires fighting a losing battle to get everybody seated before Agassi was ready to play, and he certainly won't play until they are seated. Just
His folk enjoying a late Madrid lunch, I would think.
15-0,
They do eat late here, don't they? Both lunch and dinner.
It's a very socially orientated schedule that they have, and why not? It's the way to enjoy life. We always tend to let work get in the way.
How very silly.
iguales, 15-0.
Pained expression there. He is a bit of a perfectionist, Mr. Agassi.
Responds well when he has a target.
30-15.
Sensibly just playing the first shot up the middle. He knows Safin doesn't possess the best volleys in the world, and therefore he thinks that he's going to have an excellent chance on the second shot.
Yeah, good return, wasn't it? So early.
30-0.
But Agassi had barely finished his service run before then he was having to play an attempted half volley. Now, big point here, 30-all.
Let's versus.
There you are, you see.
So much pace on the return. If you're going to go wide on the deuce side against a right-hander, you have to get the ball short up the court so you can take them out of court.
It's worth, during the rallies, watching where Agassi stands. He likes to stand on the baseline, just behind it. And if he has to, he'll almost half volley his ground strokes, but his technique's so good he can do it. But that way, he can dominate, rather like a squash player, standing in the center of the court and the opponent running all over the place.
Agassi.
Yes, got him. Oh, called out. But he's astonished. So am I.
2 games all.
I mean, perhaps I need to do something about my eyes, but I thought that was it.
I thought it definitely caught some of the line.
And we were right, look. Just a sliver of the line caught. And that's all it needs.
It's nice to know that we're not losing our sanity up in the box.
But it's of academic interest only because called out, it is out. 2-all. Another one who has astonished one of the players. But they are going for the lines, aren't they?
Well, it's the way that both of them play. No quarter given, no asked for.
204 kph, that one. 4 aces. Very ambitiously standing in there and paying the penalty. He's still only just barely a yard behind the baseline.
Safin.
Overpowering Agassi in that service game.
Safin gana 3-2.
And
Safin leads 3
the
games.
match hotting up nicely. Safin 3-2.
I think it's been a good start as far as Agassi is concerned. He was a little bit under the weather, let's say, in the opening set of his quarter-final match against Tommy Robredo last night. It was the first set, the tie-break, but thereafter Robredo failed really to test Agassi in any department, and so in the end the American was a comfortable victor in 3 sets. But he's going to have his work cut out today, because Agassi likes to play to a rhythm. He likes to dictate in the back of the court. He likes to outmaneuver his opponent, hitting from side to side, and really feel like he's in charge of both the tempo of the match, plays very quickly between points, and also each individual rally. Whereas today he's not going to be able to feel like that, because Safin keeps the rallies nice and short by serving a lot of aces or unreturnable serves, and taking Agassi's serve on very early and aggressively. So it's difficult for the American to get any kind of rhythm whatsoever.
Video walls here in opposite corners, high up above the stands, are a centre of attention for all the spectators at each
Tempo.
change, and when they see themselves on the screen, you'll see them wave, look quite excited or embarrassed, as the case may be. I suppose it depends who you're sitting with.
And whether you've taken a little sickie or not.
All right, back to business. No breaks. 2-3.
15-0, 15-11.
That's what Agassi doesn't like. When he has the upper hand in the rally, he likes to maintain that control. And Safin can turn defense into attack so quickly. And once Agassi gets pushed back behind the baseline, or the ball's hit behind him, he tends to struggle.
13-15.
Give him half an inch and he'll take a yard.
Safin's favourite shot, without a doubt, that backhand down the line, and no real chance to defend against it if you're the server when he takes the ball that early.
There we are again at break point.
30-40.
Well, it was break point down in the last service game and in the one before that. Well played.
Wallace, chase.
Not as difficult as it looks.
Ventaja, Safin.
Well, a misjudgment there, was it? I think it was. Second break point in this game, 4th in all. That's it. That was always threatening.
Safin gana 4-2. Safin leads against the chip.
Quiet smile of confidence from Rugby. Obviously, the plan is working.
Yeah, it's all stemming from the return of serve. Problems that Agassi's having on serve. Safin taking the ball so early, putting the American under too much pressure.
Zero, 15 love. Zero, 30 love.
Well, he may have to vary his returning position, Agassi, because he's tried standing way back, he's tried standing in. This time he's in the middle of that backward or forward position. And it's still not good.
40.
That's what he has been unable to do until now.
40-15.
Serve just a little too short. Agassi was up to it in plenty of time, made contact out in front of the body to create the angle, putting Safin under extreme pressure.
Juego, Safin.
Wonderful play.
Safin
in command of this set now. He's 5-2 and cruising.
It's been a little bit of a struggle for Agassi on serve, and he knew coming into the encounter that he would have to serve accurately. First serves on your screen, the red ones are aces, as you would expect on the line, but he's been varying his serve nicely, but it's been on the second serve that Safin's been able to take full advantage. He's only winning 5 of 12 points when he gets his second serve in, and it's because he's dropping the ball a little bit too short, and on the left-hand side of your screen there, he's hitting the vast majority of his serves to Safin's backhand, and Russia loves to go down the line with that shot. So when returning the Agassi serve, Safin's been trying to stand just behind the baseline for the first serve, because Agassi's delivery is very underrated. He can generate a lot of pace, but it's the second serve where he's been most effective. Look at the left-hand side of your screen, taking the ball well inside the baseline when Agassi's used the kick serve to his backhand. The vast majority of those he's been hitting down the line, and that's really been getting Agassi in all sorts of bother.
Tiempo. Siéntense rápidamente, por favor. Gracias.
Agassi they've changed the balls. Agassi just showing the new balls. 2-5.
Zero, 15 left. iguals, 59.
coming into the net is something that Agassi's done a little bit more of in the twilight of his career, and I think it's effective because he does volley relatively well, especially if he sets the point up nicely with an effective ground stroke.
Some twilight, I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Keeping's totally focused, look.
Safin gana 5-3. Safin leads 5 games to 3.
Darren Cahill a great deal of credit for his success over the last year or so. I think I'm wondering whether it was a wise decision of Hewitt's to cast aside Cahill after he'd become world #1.
I don't think it was all Leighton's decision, really.
And his frustration at the moment is that even though he's making Safin cover an awful lot of ground, he's not able to dominate him. Safin's very quick today. Vintage Agassi.
Got a little head start on the fact that Safin was going to try and beat him with a slice serve out wide. You can see there it was too deep in the court. You've got to try and get it short up that single sideline to force the opponent to move 1, 2 or 3 steps wide of the single sideline. In that instance, Agassi was in a good position to be able to make excellent contact with the ball.
40-15.
I'll teach you to hit a winner past me on my big serve. I'll serve an ace, which he's done. It's his 5th. And it is set point. Well, there is a grandstand finish. A couple of aces, smiles in his camp, and why not? 6-3 in 33 minutes.
Well, we all know that Safin possesses an incredible amount of talent, and when he gets it right between the ears, he has the ability to dismiss anybody, irrespective of the quality of player at the other side of the net. 52% of first serves in, but of course they were very effective. He only lost 1 point when he got his first serve in. And 20 winners and 9 unforced errors, an excellent ratio, any stretch of the imagination. And it crucially took advantage of 1 of his 4 break points. That was the difference between the 2 competitors. Agassi didn't play a bad set, but he never really was able to get on top at all. 7 winners and 7 unforced errors, and he did have that 1 break point which was snuffed out. So for Agassi, he's going to have to try and dictate play somehow, and he's got to get that first serve percentage up a little higher. And for Safin, I think it's just a case of continuing to maintain this concentration and focus, because if he continues playing as well as he is doing at the moment, an excellent chance of reaching tomorrow's final.
Well, here are some of the Safin winners from the set. was the last big bomb that he hit. Ace number 6 closing out that opening set.
Agassi.
And watching the video wall all the time with Safin, just to remind himself of what he has to do to beat the great man. He set about the task brilliantly so far, but can he keep it up? We'll see.
Let Kings iguals 15 all. Kings 30-15.
Yes, just a little flick of the wrist, you knew what he wanted there.
Safin did exceptionally well here to create that kind of angle, and he was expecting Agassi to play defensively and perhaps go back cross-court, but he took him by surprise.
Oh, the power in that double hand. Awesome.
40-30.
They have a huge advantage, don't they, the two-handers?
Have more control, they're able to generate more pace. Step up the court, take the ball a little earlier, they can disguise their shots a little more. Just struggle sometimes with reaching the ball compared to single-handed players.
Agassi quite relieved, I think, to have held serve there.
Second set. First game, second set.
Well, the Safin serve has been fairly dominant. You remember the 2 aces that closed out the first set. That's the real problem for him, and he hasn't yet solved it.
Well, we mentioned at the top of the match that he likes to step up the court, take the ball early. Of course, today he's got very little time to react to the ball, and Safin's disguising his serve so effectively. So it might be an idea for Agassi just to stand back a little bit, give Safin something different to look at, disrupt his rhythm. He very rarely likes to do just that.
First time he's lost the first point on his service game, Safin. Now, a little chink of light for Agassi here. He hasn't had Safin at love 30 before.
15-30, 15-30.
Well, the perfectionist in him will be hurting. Missing what he should, a shot he should have made.
Especially given the fact that that was a love 30 chance. Cahill will know that those are going to be few and far between in this match, and you've got to make the most of them.
Put it on the Moscow Dynamo team.
iguales, fecha.
Talking of Dynamo or Dynamo, the Kiev side was here earlier in the week playing Real Madrid in the Champions League. Real won 1-0.
30-40-30.
We had one or two of the Real players here during the week, and they were widely applauded when they appeared on the giant screens. Look at a big match tonight against Valencia. Messi can ill afford. This is only the second time that Safin's been taken to this.
Safin.
Mutter, mutter, mutter. Yes, well might he scratch his head. Safin is posing awkward problems today.
Fuego, Safin.
Well, even standing way back, the serve too fast, 2:17 at KPH.
Iguales. One game on.
And one game.
Well, that love 30 chance when he had the forehand could prove very costly indeed for Agassi. Taking full advantage of the second bite of the cherry.
Fault.
Crowd finally getting involved in the match. They'd like to see Agassi do this a little more often. Good footwork, and nice use of the wrist to generate the spin. Look at this, brushing up the back of the ball and then following through around his left hip.
That way.
15 iguales, 15 all.
Darren Cahill, known to his pals as Killer Cahill.
Mr. Trenta, 15-30.
But again, that's what he doesn't like. He likes to be the man doing the dictating. Very, very important point. Doesn't want to be down 2 break points.
Both players making unforced errors at key moments in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. It's a relatively makeable shot.
Trenta, 14-30.
Devastating when it works, isn't it?
It's almost impossible to defend against because you have to look for the cross-court shot because Safin can drag it across Agassi's body and create the short angle because he's got 2 hands on the ball, but when he hits it that sweetly, that deep in the court, it's impossible to get back in play.
Safin.
Well, just no chance to even react here. Look at Agassi. He serves out wide. He'd be pretty happy with the quality of his delivery and absolutely no chance because of the speed of the return and the accuracy.
Great point.
Left.
Very much like their match in Australia. That last shot and the one down the line before that.
Was juice.
A grudging nod of approval by Safin there for what was a fine serve. Saving the day.
Then Agassi.
The trouble playing this man is you don't get any say in the matter. I mean, he either hits a winner or a loser like that last one. If it had been in, it was quite unplayable. And there'll be a sigh of relief or two in the Agassi camp after that testing game. Helpless when the winners have just flown from Safin, hoping for the odd error to keep him afloat. 2-1.
Agassi did exceptionally well there to eventually hold serve, and he had to work very hard indeed. She's sweating because Safin's able to stay in the rally, he's able to match Agassi shot for shot. Very little time for the American to get into position. Usually, because this is some of the best footwork in the business. Look, always on his toes, always has the knees flexed, so that he's able to be in a position to move towards the area of the court that the opponent hits the next shot. But he doesn't like to move too much himself. He likes to take up that position just behind the baseline and dominate the rally by hitting corner to corner. Safin has the ability to be able to defend exceptionally well. Some excellent muscle tone in those legs, works out hard in the gym with his trainer, Paul Race, and eventually does enough to hold serve, and is absolutely delighted in doing so.
Andre able to watch himself just now with that lovely footwork and reminding himself that he'll have to be pretty darn quick today. Some of Safin's big blows that are driving him wide and driving him wild, I suspect, at times. So brutal are those blows. Got to take risks like that and hope that they come off, which this one did brilliantly. But it's not a percentage shot by any means. But he's, remember, set down and he's got to impose himself on something. Well, now, here we go again. Andre is just beginning to prise the door open. Remember Safin's last service game, he had him love 30 then. Here he is again.
In 15-30.
Just what happened last time. 30 became 15-30. Big point.
In 15-14.
Reckon on that, had they? Now that has given Andre 2 break points.
30-14.
Not since game 3 of the match as Safin faced a break point. Was the game you'll remember when Safin had led 40-love and was caught at deuce. Oh, there it is again, your favourite shot.
Well, you've got to have guts to be committed on this shot under pressure. That ball was a good length that Agassi hit, and he applauds, but on the other hand, he could be a bit disgruntled because he couldn't have done much more with that backhand crosscourt. Perhaps he has to be the one that tries to change direction on the ball a little earlier in the rally rather than relying on an error from Safin.
Marat Safin.
Well, there's a rule in life that you've got to take your chances when they come, because they're fleeting in matches of this quality. Well, you have to hand it to his opponent there. Safin playing that backhand down the line at break point down deserves thoroughly to have held.
Both players have put each other under pressure early on in this second set, and you feel really the next 10 or 15 minutes could prove crucial as to the outcome of this match.
A lot at stake here. We talked about the Champions race, the points at stake there.
The
man in the picture there in the blue, Guardo Infantino, who of course is Nalbandian's coach. Nalbandian already through to the final. And it's very important that the coaches should scout the opposition so that they can have a sensible and meaningful discussion with their player and work out together what tactics should be employed.
In set 15-30.
Safin shakes his head. He knows that that was a silly mistake when it was 15-30.
It was a good second serve. Got a kick on the ball. Got above Safin's shoulder.
Atlanta, 40-30.
Well, you can't believe that, nor can I. That is just so untypical.
Both players a little tight, I think, in this game. They realise its importance.
Agassi.
So battle of wills again. Agassi winning it. Well, what a tough battle there for Agassi to hold, but he did hold, that's all that matters.
Agassi leads 3 games.
He's got his nose in front again. 3-2. Jason, we've talked about the importance, particularly to these two men, of the outcome today because of the points they'll accrue in the champions race, where already we have three certain players at the top: Federer, Roddick and Hewitt, and Gaudio, who is at number 9, not on that screen because he won the French. Now, if Safin wins today, he'll reach 435, just behind Hemman. If he wins the tournament, another 15 will put him 3 ahead of Hemman. So that would make life very difficult for the Briton.
It certainly would. And there's only 2 more weeks left in the regular season, so things are hotting up. And I think that's what makes the champions race so great at this time of the year. These tournaments really take on even greater significance for all the players involved. And it should be a tremendous event in Houston.
Well, he knew really how close he came there, had Agassi at love 30, just as he'd been at love 30s. They're both having chances. And that's just what we'd hoped to see, a really high-quality encounter. This lovely Rocodrome Madrid arena with its high roof. And the lights of a circular pattern above. Slightly unusual. Seems to work nicely. Right, no breaks, 2-3. Well, a lot of the crowd thought that was in. Thought they're giving the linesman the bird. Won't affect last draft though. Tells you how many Agassi fans there are in here wanting to see him win this set. There aren't many men who can do what Agassi does, stand just about on the baseline, half volley those early ground strokes, but Safin is one. Agassi well back this time. He's tried varying this receiving position. Still too fast. 209 kph. Without much difficulty. So this is where the danger will come, I think, at this stage of a set. He'll be making a big effort. Had Agassi love 30 last time. I think he is just a bit anxious today.
Definitely not timing the ball as well as he would like. He's not able to dominate enough of the rallies. And that's why he's struggling. Had his nose in front.
59. It's Atlanta, 15-30.
Well, he must be a little bit anxious behind that calm exterior. Darren Cahill, he doesn't show much, but There's a nasty situation at a very important point again, 15-30. There's the man who called it. Andre moves forward to have another look. We'll have a look at what TMI thinks. He agrees.
It's 15-14.
3 errors from Agassi. Forehand out, forehand net, forehand out. 2 break points.
Gracias.
Brilliantly saved with his third ace. Wrist all on the early winner.
Iguales, cheers.
Of which he's hit many tonight down the line. Come on, says Peter. Marat.
Well, amazingly enough, this is the very first winner at the back of the court on the backhand side for Agassi. Amazing considering we're almost at the business end of the second set.
Well, he's escaped again, like he did last time, narrowly. But like last time, it doesn't really matter as long as you do hold, and he has. False.
Por favor. You both, please.
All good players start a match with a game plan, and that's usually the one that they favour most, and Agassi was looking to try and take the return on as early as possible. Look at that on the left-hand side. That's where Safin's really using the kick serve to good effect, and the ball's getting up high, so Agassi has to move into the court to try and make contact with it before it gets above his shoulder height, particularly on the second serve. But then in the first set, he wasn't really having much success, so in the second, he really changed his tactics. Look at that. He's well back behind the baseline now for the first serve. Those are the yellow balls on your screen there, but for the second serve he's taking a further step back, so he's giving himself plenty of time. Safin isn't serving and volleying on the second serve, so the ball then can be dropped down to a more comfortable height, around hip height for Agassi, and then he can take a full swing at the ball and get it back in play. And he has enjoyed more success in the second set, but as yet hasn't got that vital break of serve.
For a change of racket, because we're changing the tennis balls. Agassi always does that. And a marvellously competitive battle it has turned out to be, with chances for both. In the second set, Agassi had to save a break point in the third game. Had to save 2 more just now. And Safin, well, he's been break points down in the fourth game, so it's a question of converting those chances now. Great footwork. Just watch Safin's feet here. They are making himself, giving himself room. And it virtually had to be, and if you're outside your own backhand line, that had to be a winner. Ooh, right into the tummy.
Gracias.
One of our model girls. Ball goes. Safin's been known to keep company with beautiful ladies. We see them in his. We've seen him in his boxes at various tournaments.
Iguales, 30 all.
Well, we keep getting these moments in service games that are absolutely crucial to both. And here's another. 30 love up, now 30 all, and trailing 3-4.
Left versus.
Came back too fast for him.
You've got to be careful. If you give Agassi an angle, and you don't put him under enough pressure, he will make use of that.
So the crowd playing its part again here. Look, they want a third set.
Good tennis from Safin. I think Agassi was expecting the Russian to go back behind him, so he stood his ground. Did well initially to get the ball back in play, and there just stopped and was expecting Safin to go to his left. So good shot selection and nice control under pressure.
Safin.
Bringing his total of aces to 8.
Yes.
Very, very well played indeed from that break point down.
4 iguales. 4 games all.
So he had to keep cool, calm and collected, and that's just what he did. Been a fine performance, this.
We'll just add the icing on the cake and get that break of serve now. Be almost perfect.
Well, a very faint call from the lines. I just heard it. Agassi certainly did. It's all mattered to him. 15 up. But he's got that look back in his eye, that eager look.
40-15. Juego, Agassi.
And a little skip towards the chair as Agassi once more moves ahead. 5-4.
I'm sure there are many areas of the match that Agassi's not particularly pleased with. He's been able to dictate and dominate play as much as he would have liked, but first serve percentage is okay, but it's effective. That's the key. So he's able to continue to hold serve. As long as he can keep his nose in front, he's going to hope that he can put a little bit of pressure on Safin. Now is the best time to do that, when his opponent has to come out and attempt to serve to stay in this second set. We've seen Safin make a few more unforced errors in this set than he did in the opening one. Hasn't quite been as sure about his shot selection and his commitment to those shots as he was in the opening set, because obviously now he's a little closer to winning the match. And therefore it always becomes a little bit more difficult to play with that wild abandon that you can do at the beginning of matches when there's that much pressure on you. So this next game should be very interesting.
Face of
Tempo.
a great athlete, thinking through the next few minutes when he hopes he can convert the second set to victory. 4-5.
Well, if you go down the line, you've got to make sure that you're playing an aggressive shot, because the opponent then has the cross-court shot to give you a huge distance to cover. Agassi not even attempting it on that occasion.
30-39.
Approaching double figures. His ninth ace, the last one.
Fortunately.
Well, one of the easiest service games that Safin is won.
5 iguales, 5
And, well, too good, you have to say. Now, he's bound to make a huge effort here, because the tiebreak is always a bit of an open question.
He's at 0-15. left pushes. Agassi, 30-15.
Well, the crowd would love to see Agassi take this second and the last, I suspect, for a lot of them. And one of the most popular entertainers, I suppose, of the last 15 or 20 years.
Good solid point from Agassi. The return didn't have enough juice on it, and therefore the Americans able to dictate play. It's a relatively simple shot there, but high backhand volley is probably one of the most difficult shots to execute, so he did a good job.
Just to remind Safin that he's not the only one who can serve aces.
6 games to 5.
Agassi's fifth. And still no breaks. Agassi ahead, 6-5.
Same situation as we were in about 5 minutes ago. Agassi's done the difficult bit. He's managed to hold serve. He can afford to open his shoulders here and just try to do something perhaps a little bit different, particularly on the first 1 or 2 points of this next game, because if he was able to win one of those points, it would put a very different complexion.
I think we had 7 balls
on the game. And then Safin would be under a little bit more pressure to produce those big serves in order to try and give the Russians some free points. But Agassi's had some half chances. He's not been able to convert. And as you were saying, John, the tiebreak is a little bit of a lottery, so I'm sure the American will be making a big effort at the beginning of this next game to try and wrap up this second set and then start serving at the beginning of the third to make the most of the momentum that he will have gained.
Tempo.
Well. The things you see on telly.
Gracias.
5-6.
15 up.
Oh, the trademark shot of Marat Safin.
And it's hit so sweetly. The way he's able to keep good length across court, just opening up the court. And Agassi again hit the ball back to a relatively good length, but Safin didn't care. Just took the ball on the rise. Superb timing.
Yes, right on the button, that one. And Agassi isn't able to read any of these heavy serves. That's 11 aces. Just stranded. So here's the tie-break point. Good hustle.
14-15.
Bluff, really, that's all it was. But it worked. frustrating thing for Agassi.
6 all. Second set, tiebreak.
Well, he had a chance here. But Safin guessed right. And then had a little angle. And obviously he doesn't like to volley lower than the height of the net. He's okay if it's around shoulder height. But once he starts to try and do fancy angled drop volleys like that, then difficulty.
So into the tiebreak, and I suppose being something of a Russian roulette, the tiebreak, I think it should favour Safin. Right. The lob was inch perfect. And it's given
1-0, Agassi.
Given Agassi just the start he needed. So the tiebreak record, Safin 18-23 negative, Agassi 12-10 positive. That's this year. Now,
2-0, Agassi.
Does that statistic we just showed you suggest that Agassi enjoys the cut and thrust of time breaks and Safin doesn't?
Goes 1-2-1, Agassi.
What a perfect length smash that was.
Really took Safin a little bit by surprise. He wasn't expecting to get another opportunity to stay in the rally.
3-1,
Good length initially on the approach. And he just made it.
There's 3-2, Agassi.
Just the suspicion of a choke there. He smothered that forehand a little. Well, that was important for him to strike back at once.
4-2, Agassi.
Having conceded his own second service point of the last pair, able to dominate Safin to get back the initiative.
It's proved very difficult to get back into the rally for both players once they've found themselves under the cosh early on. So it's very important when you do get a half chance in any rally to make the most of it. That's exactly what Agassi was able to do on that last point. I feel that Agassi's been playing slightly more aggressive tennis of the two just recently, apart from on serve, obviously, where Safin's been dominating.
2-4. Around dust.
4-3, Agassi.
Aces he served. And these ball girls, rather decorative they are. They're also very efficient. They're beginning to get the hang now of the ball changes in the middle of a tie break, which sometimes confuses even the best ball boys. Oh, what a pass. That is a cruel blow for Agassi.
He would have been expecting to have won that point, even though the serve was dreadfully slow, only 120 kilometers an hour. But he dictated the rally, and usually does a little bit more with the volleys there. He was guilty of not following the line of the ball once he'd made his forehand volley, because Safin there could really only ever go down the line.
He's not going to start until he's ready. And the suspicion of tightness apparent once again, as it has been at key moments this week, really. It was the same last night against Robredo for a set.
The second serve on the point before was 120 kilometers an hour. The second serve there was only 145, so definitely taking some pace off the ball, and it's a sure sign of nerves.
Well, they know that their man has this match won if he can produce two winning serves right here.
Gracias.
There's one.
6-4, Safin.
2 match points. That's it.
Set the match, Marat Safin. 6-3, 7-6.
A brief word of congratulation for Agassi as Safin, to the delight of his coach and trainer, Lundgren, is there supporting Safin for that 6-3, 7-6 win. It's taken an hour and 34 minutes, but I think on the form, absolutely deserved.
So Safin signs off a victor, and will move through to Sunday's showpiece, where he'll take on David Nalbandian. Disappointment for Agassi. Who knows whether they'll see him again in this part of the world. He didn't play as well as he would have wanted. He'll be disappointed. He hasn't played as well as he would have liked all week, really, but he managed to get the job done until he came up against the big Russian, who just had too much power on serve and played too well, really, throughout the encounter. Agassi never able to dominate and dictate from the back of the court, as he likes to do on many an occasion.
So it will be Marat Safin in his 7th final of a Masters Series tournament of which he's won 3.
So the ratio of winners to unforced errors is always a telling factor. Look at Agassi, only 17 of the former and 24 of the latter, whereas Safin was able to hit 35 winners in total and just 28 unforced errors. And Agassi did not convert on the 4 break points that he had, whereas Safin took advantage of 1 of his 7. First serve percentage-wise, Safin was at 53%, and that's pretty decent given the fact that he gives it a good old whack. So he'll be absolutely delighted. I think if he plays that well tomorrow, he's got an excellent opportunity of getting the better of David Nalbandian. But for Agassi, he needs to cut out those unforced errors and try and dominate from the back of the court a little bit more and serve an awful lot better if he's going to produce the kind of tennis that will still beat the best player.